Matching hundreds. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden NFL Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you're starting to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. This one fielded at the 5. Gets around him. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The coverage that time excellent by Nevin Lawson. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He gets it to Brown, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Traquan Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a man who's made it back from injury, 35 years of age now, Alex Smith.
Anytime anyone throws for over 300 yards in a game, you know their name is going to be considered for Offensive Player of the Week. And in the AFC last week, our guy got it.
Yeah, he was the guy on top of his game. He'll try to duplicate that here in this one. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
A second-round pick out of LSU. The league's about to get their first real extended look at running back Darius Geis, who missed all of his rookie season with a knee injury, but he was ultra-productive in college with over 3,000 yards rushing. A strong runner inside, can also get to the perimeter. He's fortunate enough that the knee injury happened early enough in the season last year that he should be ready to go for all of 2019. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on third down. Out of the gun, Smith. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3-and-out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
It kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time, and that's not easily done because you know all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. It's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Darnold completes it, and he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Here's Darnold. And he's got Rodgers. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. From the gun, a give to Hyde. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a 1st down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. They run on 1st down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7, forthcoming. The numbers on the ground for Hyde last week. You see the numbers last week for Davis. In the end, not enough to help get him the victory.
And as we look forward to this week, don't you just get the sense that he's going to get the ball a little bit more? I mean, that's just how it reads to me. I don't know how you're feeling about it.
Well, they talked about that with us this week. That's going to be a priority for them.
Give him the ball, let him do his thing.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Here's Darnold, and the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will make it 10-0 here in the first. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now Smith. And the connection made to Terrell Pryor. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Now a first carry here for Shane Vereen. And his first carry, he loses the football.
You got it! You got it! You got it!
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
70, Indy. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Dude.
Geis with the carry on second down. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars 23. The starters defensively now for Jacksonville. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
8-3. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Check 99. Check 99.
They'll try and get it with Geis. And Geis is going to be stopped short as he did not get the push he needed. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Robbie Gould on for the field goal. A 40-yard attempt.
And Gould is able to put it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Now it's Gould after splitting the uprights to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now Carlos Hyde gears up to take the field again. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Complete here. It's Hyde. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. A play fake, and it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He finds his running back, Hyde.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
A gain of 2 brings us 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line.
Play action. It's Smith. And almost intercepted. If he could have picked it, maybe some space to go the other way. Instead, it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak. On top so far with the football here, first and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 2nd down, Hyde. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. So following the run by Hyde, here's first and 10. Darnold from the gun. And finding the tight end Hooper. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They run high, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you've got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the first. A first down throw, Darnold. And he fires one incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
We got 3. We got 3. We got 3.
Now it's Darnold. Got a man. It's Brown. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Past the 20. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill, and he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. To throw again on second down. Smith hits his running back, Shane Vereen. The Broncos on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Smith hands off to Geis, and they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Denver. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
7 yards there and a first down. They run again with Hyde on first. And this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20. A 10th carry for Hyde.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing is Smith. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Smith now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
Check. Get it.
Now a run with Geis. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 21. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Here's Vereen. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A shotgun snap for Smith. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Jack Doyle, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score. And
they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And let's look at Carlos Hyde now. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. Darren Lee there to get him down. Throwing on second down. Darnold going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there. and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Geis. And he'll just keep two hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. It's complete. Vereen. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now Carlos Hyde gears up to take the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it was Sam Darnold who was on target in the first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game. As we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Hill, the intended receiver once again, and that'll bring up second down. Throwing again. Smith, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Let's go, fellas.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, this is Geis. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll get nothing out of the completion there, and it leads to a 4th down. So they go pass on 3rd and 2. They complete it, but no gain. Should they have tried to run it?
I thought that running the ball in that situation is what they would have done, because at worst case scenario, you may bring up a 4th down decision for your team. Instead, now, they're not close to the 1st down.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold. Big hold to the 30. Open man. Smith-Schuster. It's complete. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Another tote for the afternoon workhorse. It's high, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
On 2nd and 11 now. Darnold, and he slings one that's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They'll run with Geis. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively. From the 27, Smith. It's Hill, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now it's Smith, and he's got the hook up to Landry.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
No game on this defense, no game.
Here's Geis. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 43-yard line. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. They complete it to Hill. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away.
Let's go, boys, let's go.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Darnold. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Faking the give, Darnold.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Gets it to Smith-Schuster on the jet sweep. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Here's Hyde on the draw. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
We're going to sign 50. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
Carry number 20 here for Hyde. And an alley to run. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now this one complete downfield on the left side.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run. It's Vereen. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Down. 10-2 stop. 59. Let's go, let's go. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They'll go draw play. Smith gives to Geis. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. From the gun, here's Smith. Gets this one to Hill. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a first down throw that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Smith will bring his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
50's the line.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. 3rd down, here's Geis. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Gold is good, and that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game. And on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball. But here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that. And that means opening things up again, being a little more free than what they're trying to get done on offense.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Back to throw, Darnold. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Smith, a gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Smith. He's got Jack Doyle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 30 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing again is Smith. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw is Smith. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 27 yards there, a first down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. On the run, here's Vereen. A good run of 6 yards there, gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On the ground, Geis, and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Now Gold for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by a Darius Geis touchdown run. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Hyde. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Darnold from the gun. Hard throw, incomplete. Defensively, mission accomplished, and now with under 3 to go, they may be the last team holding the football.
They may very well be the last team holding the football, unless, of course, you're facing a group that is really aggressive offensively and may want to take a gamble. But theoretically, you've done your job now. You should get the ball back on a punt, but I'd be alert for a fake.
And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
They start on the ground with Geis. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Geis with a carry on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Denver. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Jags. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Clock running here under 90 seconds to go. Looking to throw again on second down. Darnold. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Now Darnold.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. Second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Darnold now to throw. He finds his running back, Hyde. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Hyde. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to take the lead here in the final minute. Gostkowski's kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Broncos now down by a field goal, 20 seconds to go. Their perfect start to the season in jeopardy unless they can score here as they've got it 1st and 10. Now it's Smith. Open man is Hill. He's got it.
Offense.
That's Mike McGlinchey, former first-round pick out of Notre Dame with a penalty. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
Smith. doesn't complete. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. One last throw here for Smith. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Jags, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first one of the season here in Week 4. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Denver, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.